So how in the heck can one knife be both inexpensive yet expensive at the same time? Well, this knife manages to pull it off. Hey, how you doing? I'm Jay, and first go ahead and click on that subscribe button if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. This is the brand new CIVIVI Anthropos, and we're going to talk about what I like, what I don't, and some of the potential deal breakers. Now, you should be looking at some of the specs right about now, but don't worry, I'll also have them listed down in the description below just in case you want to follow along throughout the review. Let's do those size comparisons. Let's get started with Spyderco and the PM2, and then the Sage 5. Here is the bug out from Benchmade. Ooh, how about one of the first CIVIVIs to be released, the Backlash. And finally, the Skyline from Kershaw. Now, if you're kind of running short on time, you really can't, and if you can't stick around, I want to just tell you this, that this is now, would be considered the most inexpensive Elijah Isham design, which, that's great, especially if you're like a fan of his work. But if you're not, then unfortunately, I really think that you can find some better value elsewhere. The first thing that actually got me interested in the Anthropos is the wide blade profile. So from the spine to the sharpened edge, I measured it. It's about 1.11 inches wide, and also the fact that this is the even more affordable Isham design. I mean, even more so than the $180 Kaiser Theta. And I gotta tell you, I do like the shape of this drop point and how it allows you to, it gives you use of all of that sharpened edge, if you're like cutting on a flat surface. Now, it looks like that is now using D2 steel for their entire CIVIVI line, so that's good to see. And now also notice you really can't call this a finger choil. Even though you could use it that way, but I probably would not. So this forward choil is even more, notice how much more pronounced it is than the Kaiser Theta. Now the action here, when you're using that top-mounted flipper, it's pretty darn good. But unfortunately, just like the Kaiser Theta, this features an unusable, again for me, an unusable thumb hole that I absolutely cannot use to deploy the blade. And yeah, I can't maybe I can kind of spidey flick it. Hold on. Well, sorta. Maybe it'll take me some practice. But yeah, the thumb hole it's difficult to use for deployment. And speaking of that deployment, it's pretty easy to get it to fail. I could do it every time consistently. Now I realize that with production folders, no two knives are going to be exactly the same, which is why you might be experiencing something a little bit different. But my example is not dropping shut. It does, but you see, it requires quite a bit of shake and bake, and that's still even with the ball bearing pivot that this one is using. Now, yes, you can do that, that thumbnail closure, but if it's not dropping shut, that thumbnail closure is not really all that much fun, is it? Now the D10, it is strong. It's strong enough, yeah, to prevent me from being able to shake the blade loose. Now I want to show you this kind of integrated stop pin, and hopefully you can see. Oh yeah, there they are. Yeah, there's like a stud on each side, which acts as the stop pin, and it's integrated onto the blade, and you can see it just travels across the top of the liner. providing actually a very good lockup. Oh, I also want to show you, check out there, now you can see it. Check out that lock face. Yeah, that is absolutely huge. And I've been comparing it to many other knives, and it's like almost like twice the size. Now, once deployed, let's see, the liner, looks like the liner's locking up at about 15%. And the centering, let's take a look at that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that is just about perfect. The 4.125 inch long handle scales, they're actually, it's G10 with a carbon fiber laminate, which is actually kind of ironic because when you look at this knife closed, does it remind you of another? Yeah, the Spyderco Sage 5. So ironic because the Sage 5 also uses the G10 with the carbon fiber laminate as well. I gotta give credit here because the scales are very comfortable and there are no sharp edges anywhere to be found. Now, I wear a medium-sized glove and I can just fit, you see that? I can just fit all four of my fingers on the 0.48 inch thick handle. Now, if you have those bigger hands, forget it, because yeah, you're gonna be hanging off the end with that pinky finger. Again, fits me very well. Now, as far as traction is concerned, there really is not much to speak of. Yeah, it's the scales are a little bit on the slick side, but there are two areas of jimping. They did one here on the lock bar, and the other, I should probably close it. Yes, they did it on the flipper tab. Thank you so much for that. I really like the clips that they use here on the CIVIVI knives, and you can see here that this one is also, it's a deep carry that's going to be tip up only for righties. Yep, lefty love. And it kind of looks like, see if this can focus, it appears to be blackwashed, which is awesome because it's not painted. So, you know, with the painted ones, they scratch up really easy. The blackwashed don't scratch up as fast. I don't know, those of you that saw my review of the Kaiser Theta, and you saw how good of a cutter that this really is. So I'm kind of anxious to see what this 3mm thick blade can do. Oh, wow. I probably say that with every friggin' knife I do here, don't I? But that's pretty good. Wow. I mean, it's so good that like the knife is like slipping. Holy cow. Well, it's a little, okay, let me tell you this. It was a little difficult to get it started, but once it was traveling through the cardboard, there's no stopping it. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. Before this goes up on the scale, I just want to go ahead and show you that this is, in fact, mostly closed construction with that, it's a pretty long back spacer. And I want to, if you can see, it's going to be kind of difficult because no light is coming in the back, but these liners, both liners, have been extensively skeletonized in an effort to reduce the weight. Let's see how they did. They did very good. Wow, 3.2 ounces is going to be roughly the equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 4 AA batteries, or oh, look at that, almost the same exact weight. This is the Ganzo Firebird FH21. Which, by the way, I have previously reviewed this knife as well. So at the end of the video, yeah, look up to the corner, click on the icon, and watch this full review. Now, before we get to my potential deal breakers, because there are a couple of them, I just have a question for you, and all I would like to know is just what is currently your absolute favorite CIVIVI knife? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, the first potential deal breaker, it's so minor that we could even refer to it as a nitpick, but it's regarding the size of the pocket clip. You know, I generally like when it takes up like 50% or less of the scale, and you can see that this one just looks like it's a little bit too long for the handle. And potential deal breaker number 2 is gonna be the fit and finish, because when I hold this up to a light, I can see quite a few gaps between the scales, between the liners, between the backspacer too. And I mean, no, that's not a huge deal, but it can't really be fixed by tightening anything, because there's only just the pivot and the one body screw. So there's really not much that you can do about it. Third potential deal breaker is, well, the fact that I am unable to deploy the blade using this thumb hole. Wow, I really have to push on there to kind of get it to come out. And the last potential deal breaker is going to be the price, which we are going to really get into here in 1 second. Also, I wanted to really quick just show you my little fix for that, not being able to use that thumb hole. And yep, good old quick thumb stud to the rescue. Hold on. That really did just happen. Okay, now I think I got it on there right. So this is my quick fix for the inability of using the thumb hole for deployment. I put on a quick thumb stud. The Anthropos, unfortunately, is now the most expensive CIVIVI at $80. Well, I mean, typically, like the Backlash, for example, what was this? $60, between like $45, $60. Now, $80, which it's too much. I just feel that it's too much, because other than this unique flipper, I mean, does this do anything more than the other D2 CIVIVIs? Not for me, no. I like the size of this. I like the feel, but not for $80. I would rather, to be honest, I would rather carry the Backlash. I mean, even with its 9CR blade steel, it's just the forward choil, the action is a little bit better. So hey, thanks for watching, and remember to go ahead and click on that subscribe button if you want knife reviews that get right to the point. And if you enjoyed this video at all, maybe just leave a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.